Big shout to okjersey.com. Scan the QR code below and actually go to the link below to get affordable football shirts from all the European leagues, including the English clubs, all of them, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Spurs, Chelsea, all of them, of course, are all there. You can get the current ones, past seasons, and also some absolute gems out there, vintage ones, and actually very affordable football shirts, high quality, like the one I'm wearing right here. It is very simple to get one. Let me show you how. You go to the website. It's very simple. You click on the Premier League, pick the club you want. For me, I pick Newcastle, for example. You go there, you will find all the current ones, training ones as well. You add whatever you want to the cart. Of course, check the sizes, add a patch, add to cart, but also never forget, as it says below, scan the QR code and put the code JUDGE in the checkout to get 8% discount. It's that easy. Just go to the website, check the football shirt you want. You will not regret it. Now, let's get back.
This project is a joke. Like, there is no project. We spent 250 million quid in the summer, and the team is worse than last season. The attacking options are worse than last season. Everything's worse than last season.
Everything's worse.
We spent money to go backwards. Mate, you're telling me that the project's right? We're 10 points behind Aston Villa halfway through the season. That's the project, yeah? Is that the norm now? We're 5th place, with 3 points behind Liverpool, 10 points behind Aston Villa. I think we're level on points with Man United. This is the project, yeah? This is what we're back in. This is what is supposed to be taking us to the next level. This is what's supposed to be taking us closer to challenging for Premier League titles and winning major trophies. It's a joke, mate. It's a player trading scheme. That's what it is. It's like a pyramid scheme for trading players. That's what we are.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge. More honest thoughts here from Charlie. That was actually after not the game last night. It was after the Aston Villa game with Chelsea Fan TV. Make sure to check out Chelsea Fan TV. Check out Charlie's channel, Blue Brother CFC, of course. Charlie was some honest thoughts about the project, about the players, about where Chelsea are going now. Man United are in the same points at Chelsea, but Man United have a meltdown because they gave Wolves their first absolutely point in 13 games. And all of this, and they are on the same points at Chelsea. Where is the Chelsea project going? Should Amorim get sacked? A lot of people are saying that Amorim should get sacked now, even though we know he's not going to get sacked. Dayo is joining us. He's just a little bit late. So you can tell why we're late. It's Dayo's fault. Arsenal win against Aston Villa. Absolutely smashed Villa yesterday. Absolutely smashed Villa. to go 5 points clear. They're 15 points or 14 points off Chelsea. That is where they are now. Chelsea are 4th, Aston Villa 6 points behind, Man City are 5 points behind. And I want to know where is this project is going. This is why I got Charlie here. It's the best guy to actually talk about it. Hit that like button. Sal, straight for post, of course, in the description as well. But the Gunner Edge is Dayo's channel, of course. So, guys, let's get the likes up early, quickly. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section. The man from Uncle saying, respect Arsenal. 100%, because a lot of doubters were there. We'll talk about Arsenal in a bit. But Charlie, bro, where is this project going? Wow. And by the way, I want to present something to you that someone tweeted yesterday, or someone put a comment on my video, on my live show yesterday. And I want to get your thoughts and everyone's thoughts on this. They said when Chelsea win, it's an Enzo Maresca masterclass. But when Chelsea lose, it's the board of directors, it's the recruitment, it's everything. Why Maresca is not held accountable, right? Why you get the praise, but he isn't held accountable? But big up, how are you doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no, look, I don't think I think that's certainly the case with some fans. Some fans won't criticize the manager at all. I think I've been very fair in terms of the issues at Chelsea run far deeper than the manager. The manager is not the biggest issue at the football club, but as we know, at all football clubs, the manager is the most disposable piece of it. You can't sack a load of players. You can't just change ownership like that. You can't just get rid of sporting directors like that. And, they're not going to just alter the path of what they're setting out to do. So the manager is always the easiest piece of the puzzle to get rid of. I've been very critical of the manager this season at times when it's warranted it. Man United away with the coward tactics, taking all your attackers off when you went down to 10 men. The same against Brighton, when we've thrown points away against Brentford, when we've lost to Sunderland at home, when we don't turn up away at Leeds. All these things that we've done. However, when we lose a game, it's not always the manager's fault. When you've got players who cannot finish easy chances, like Pedro Neto, like Garnacho, like Joao Pedro, like Liam Delap, when you've got comical defending where we concede 2 goals from the first 2 long throws of the game, we lack quality in both boxes. What is the manager supposed to do about players who cannot finish their chances when they get into positions and they don't put it in the back of the net? What's the manager going to do when we cannot defend a long throw and people are just getting attracted to the ball and people are leaving players unmarked, free headers in the box? What are we supposed to do about that? Yeah, his in-game management has let him down this season. Yes, the in-game management's been poor, but I'm fed up of just sitting here and going, oh, let's get another manager in and then let's just leave the same hierarchy in place. Let's leave the same way of operating. Let's leave the same way of recruiting there. And then let's start again with someone else and moan about the same problems all over again. We missed a golden opportunity in the summer, Mo. You win the Club World Cup and people can say what they want about that, but you win that, you've got an opportunity to go make a statement in the market and show you're serious about competing. There is no reason other than not wanting to why Chelsea couldn't have signed Victor Osimhen this summer. I don't want to hear it, but no other clubs paid the money. I don't care what any other clubs were doing. You had an opportunity there to go and get a top-class number 9. You didn't do it. There was an opportunity to get...
But some Chelsea fans praised the signing of Joao Pedro and praised the other signings as well. Some Chelsea fans were happy about this.
But Pedro's not a bad signing, right? But you're telling me you're trying to close the gap to Arsenal, to Man City, to Liverpool, to competing at the top end of the Premier League, getting closer to a Premier League title, and you build on winning 2 trophies and getting back in the Champions League last season, and you build on that by signing Liam Delap as your first choice number 9 after 1 season at Ipswich. And he's nowhere near the level. And he's great. And he's way worse than Nicholas Jackson at this point. So my point is, Mo, is that when you sign, I've always maintained I've not got a problem with selling players. One thing you must do is bring in players who are better than the ones that left. Barring Joao Pedro, not a single player that left was replaced by a better player.
I disagree.
Let me quickly finish. Gittins and Garnacho is no better than what we had last season in Sancho and Mudryk.
No, but that's now. You're saying this now. Okay, guys, this is what is. You guys are saying this today.
I was saying it in the summer as well.
But you guys wanted to get rid of Jackson. Everyone, I'm here not for the receipts. Maybe not for you, Charlie, but for other people as well, Charlie.
No, I agree.
I'm gonna go to the receipt. And Charlie, you do work with Don, Shez, you work with Nina, you work with Chelsea MTV, you work with Quest, you work with you work with all these people, with all the Chelsea, you work with Mati, you work with all of them, right? I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna say, and people just can't stop me if I'm wrong. You wanted to get rid of Jackson because he wasn't good enough. Everyone was dancing on YouTube and on the streets when Bayern Munich offered the 80 million for Jackson, and you said, "Listen, we make profit on them." Delap was supposed to be better than Jackson on paper. You guys said he's better than Jackson. João Pedro on paper is supposed to be better than Jackson. Last season you had Jackson and Gui on paper. Delap and João Pedro are better than Jackson and Gui. You're not gonna. I'm talking in the summer, not today. Not today. Same for Arsenal, by the way. When people tell me that Eucharist is not better than this, no, in the summer, Eucharist was better than what they had, right? Now, in hindsight, Garnacho and Gittins, a lot of Chelsea fans said that Gittins lighten up the Bundesliga. And he was good with Dortmund, wasn't he?
No, he was. But how many times have we seen Bundesliga attackers come over to the Premier League and they don't deliver? We've seen it so many times. Sancho. Seen it with, Kai Havertz to an extent. I know he's got
Charlie Sancho did nothing to you last season, Charlie. Nothing, Charlie.
He contributed. The
point is, Madueke had. You guys were dancing when you sold Madueke.
But I mean, me personally, I would have kept Madueke, and I wanted to keep Nicholas Jackson. The issue is not selling those players. The issue is not replacing them with obvious upgrades. That's the problem. Like, you could make an argument. Like, I mean, you might not agree that they're all worse. But the ones that come in, they're not significantly better. At best, in my opinion, they're sideways moves. And the problem is, Mo, right, is that you spend 2.5 years developing Madueke and Jackson to a level where they can contribute to a team that finishes in the top 4 in the Premier League. You then sell those players, and then you basically sign the version of them 2.5 years ago, and you start the project all over again, developing those players to a level in Liam Delap and Jamie Gittins, for example, and Garnacho to a certain extent, even though he's got 100 Premier League games under his belt and whatnot. So that's where the issue lies, is that we missed a major opportunity in the summer to kick on and to sign players. You know, look at all the players that Chelsea have been linked with and could have signed, but for various reasons didn't, whether they weren't prepared to pay the money, whether these players didn't believe in the project that was being presented to them. Chelsea, in a genuinely realistic world, if we had ambition from a recruitment standpoint and genuinely wanted to compete at the top level and win Premier League titles again, there is no reason, right, why Chelsea shouldn't have Victor Osimhen leading the line, why Michael Olise shouldn't be in this team, why you shouldn't have a Donnarumma or Mike Maignan in goal, why there shouldn't be Mark Guehi in that back line. These are all players that were attainable, whether this summer or the previous summer, and we didn't do it because we're not prepared to pay the money, and that's what it comes down to.
But not only. Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why? Can I be honest with people? Just for once about Chelsea, hit that like button, people. We got over 300 people in the house. Can we get to 200 likes live? Listen, I haven't had to 300 likes live for a while, so hit that like button. I actually said Enzo Maresca as a name is not attractive for big players. If your project isn't going to sign, if not going to pay the money, and I want people to maybe debate it with me, Charlie. Sal, get involved as well. I want to hear you. If you don't have the big name as the Pep Guardiola, and I'm going to say it as Mikel Arteta, people want to play for Mikel Arteta. There are people that want to play for Mikel Arteta. People want to play for Jurgen Klopp. People want to play for Pep Guardiola. I'm not saying they're all the same, but there are levels. Enzo Maresca, as good as he is for Chelsea Football Club, he isn't a big name. You know, like Inter, for example. People want to play for Inzaghi when he was manager at Inter. But nobody, you know who manages Inter now? Christian Kivu, the guy that won.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to play for, like Christian Kivu calling somebody is nobody. You're nobody in the coaching world to call somebody and say, come play for me. We know that. You remember the Mourinho days at Chelsea? Mourinho used to call players and come play for me. Antonio Conte.
And they would go, yeah.
Antonio Conte, when he was at Chelsea, come play for me. And people would come and play for Antonio Conte. It's
Maresca is an Arsenal legend, isn't he? He plays for West Brom.
Like what I mean, Charlie, is it's not only I know Maresca is a good coach. I never doubted that. You can tell that some tactics are good, but there are other aspects of managing football matches, Charlie. And I don't think he's good at it. But we'll come to that point. Maresca, with all those, Maresca calling Michael Olise, and you mentioned Michael Olise. If Michael Olise isn't a Chelsea fan, why would he go play for Enzo Maresca?
But we could have got him, not this.
You could have got him 2 years ago.
Previous one. So when there was Poch and when and what I can't remember who was in charge. Whatever it was.
Can I tell you, as much as you don't like Poch, as much as you know that Pochettino calling players is bigger name than Enzo Maresca.
Yeah, it probably is. But I think also as well, right? With I get the playing for managers, and like obviously it holds more weight when certain managers ring you. Of course it does. Like we all know that. But ultimately, I think where we've missed out on these players is two reasons. One, because we couldn't offer Champions League football at the time. Secondly, because we're not prepared to pay the money. And I think thirdly as well, the top players, they don't actually believe in this project. Look at the players who are signing for the football club and who have signed for the football club. These are all young kids, 18, 19, 20, 21 or whatever, guys that have been at either smaller clubs than Chelsea, where going to Chelsea is a big step up for them, or they're guys who are not playing at their football clubs and they want to go and come and play first team football. The Cole Palmer transfer, we lucked in on that one. You know, no one thought he was going to be as good as he has been. He was on the periphery at City, showed a few bits here and there. No one thought he was going to go and do what he did. And we kind of, I don't say we got lucky with that one, but you know, it worked out. It worked out well for us. But any player that we've tried to go for who has got top quality, is one of the best in his position in the world, or players of an age of say 25 and above, they're not interested in coming, Mo, because the project's a farce. Because the next thing that's going to happen is that we obviously can't attract these top players. They don't believe in the project and they're not prepared to give the prime years of their career waiting for something to come good, which may never happen. The next problem we're going to have is your Palmers, your Caicedos, the guys that were signed a few years ago who are going to start coming into their prime years of their career, 24, 25, 26. And when we're not challenging for Premier League titles and major trophies, the next thing that's going to happen is that these players are going to ask to leave. They're going to want out because they're not going to be prepared to sacrifice the prime years of their careers waiting for a promise that is never going to happen.
So, Charlie, basically, I think what Chelsea's problem is they got too many project players. I think they needed more proven quality up front and in midfield. Now, if I was a Chelsea, I would have went straight after Adam Wharton and got Osimhen there. A bit of Premier League experience, if you know what I mean. And not talk about Garnacho, by the way, because I don't think Garnacho is good enough. Guys, there was a video circulating yesterday of him getting tackled by the coach. I mean, one of the coaches.
Oh, yeah, that was the warm-up before. I think it was the warm-up before the Villa game.
Yeah. So I think that Chelsea, what they miss is a little bit of experience in there. I mean, in the past, what Chelsea had, they had a spine. I don't think they have a spine at the moment, like a solid a defender, midfielder, and a striker. I think you got Enzo. Enzo is good. He's a good player. But I think you need that guy up front, the Osimhen, like you said, someone like of that.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
But the thing is,
no, you don't. No, you don't.
We lack quality. We lack quality in both boxes. That's the issue. Is that we lack quality in both boxes.
No, you don't. I'm sorry.
2 seconds. We've got right at Chelsea. There's a core of 4 or 5 very good players: Reece James, Cucurella, Caicedo, Cole Palmer. You can include Enzo Fernandez in that. I won't put Estevao in there because he's still young and up and coming, but he can obviously get himself into that bracket. But unfortunately, like we've done in the past, when we've let these players down, when we let Eden Hazard down, when we didn't surround him with a good enough squad and good enough players to complement him, we're doing exactly the same with these guys. I feel sorry for the likes of Reece James, Cole Palmer, Caicedo. You know, these guys are putting in top-level performances, have delivered for this football club over the last few years. And they're looking at what they're surrounded by on the football pitch, and it's bang average players. And you might not agree, but that's the fact.
But okay. To challenge for the Premier League, I'm not saying win it. To challenge for, and I want people in the chat, and I got there's a lot of Chelsea fans in the chat. Okay. To challenge Arsenal, Bukayo Saka was young, Martinelli was nobody, and Mikel Arteta made him something. Right? They had up top, if I'm not mistaken, they had Eddie Nketiah and Kai Havertz up top, right? They had Eddie Nketiah and Kai Havertz up top. And at the back, yes, they had William Saliba and Gabriel. They had Ben White converting as a right back. They had a left back at Zinchenko and they challenged. My point about it, Chelsea don't need to have a full team to actually be good. What is happening now is you're underperforming. I understand, Charlie, if your argument was we could have got the distance if we added that striker. We're there, like Aston Villa, for example, but we could have got the distance if we have a striker. You get my point, Charlie. There is a difference between these sporting directors are clowns. You know what? We are there. Enzo Maresca's getting the best out of Garnacho and Gittins, but give him more tools, like what Mikel Arteta did for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta, fans would say, you know what, Mikel, he bottled top 4 and he got 5th when Antonio Conte was managing Spurs. And the year after, he challenged him like, yeah, Mikel, if he had depth in the back line, if he had a backup for Thomas Partey, maybe if they had a striker, he would have won the line. Hold on.
He was backed.
At that year, he wasn't backed. Okay, they got Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko, with all due respect, which is okay. Gabriel Jesus is equivalent to João Pedro. I'm just at that time, yes, he won with Man City, but everyone knew that Gabriel Jesus was not a 20-goal striker. He was a 10. My point about it, what is happening at Chelsea today, like that, this at the end of the 31st of December, is it's not like, oh, Maresca should be backed because he's getting the best out of these players. So the board should give him more tools. He can go the distance next year. No, what is happening at Chelsea is that even the players that are good are failing. Caicedo is going downwards. Enzo Fernandez, if he scored yesterday, I know that you were hesitant to say that Enzo Fernandez is part of this because I watched enough Chelsea content yesterday that I know that Chelsea fans now are starting to say, yeah, this man is not good. This man is not good. We got scammed. He's good, but he's not fantastic. He's have 1 moment, 2 moments, good game, and they're not consistent. You man say, João Pedro is okay. Delap is not. Like, Delap is not a bad player. Huh? You're not going to tell me that Delap is worse than Nketiah.
No, but he's not good enough to lead the line for Chelsea at this stage.
It's not that. He's not good enough to lead the line for Chelsea. Okay, we need to differentiate between he's not good enough to lead the line for Chelsea to win the title. I will agree with you. I'll shake your hand and say you're spot on. But he's definitely good enough for Chelsea to be comfortable in top 4. Not battling with Man United in top 4.
I don't think he is, Mo. I don't think he is good enough. He's not. I'll tell you why. He's not scored. I know he's been injured, right? But he's not scored a single goal.
Did you get my argument? I just want you to get my. I'm not.
No, I understand what you're saying. But what I look at, right, is that. Look, Chelsea fans criticised Nicholas Jackson. He missed a lot of chances and he was frustrating. And people didn't have an issue with him going if someone better came in. Someone better didn't come in. Delap could develop into being a better player than Nicholas Jackson. Absolutely. I think we can agree on that. He could well do. But right now, at this point in time, the version of Nicholas Jackson that left Chelsea Football Club is way better than the version of Liam Delap that we currently have. Now, Delap, for me, he's got more bookings than goals scored this season. His hold-up play has been poor. He's just picking up bookings. He's wrestling defenders. He's not interested. Like, when he's on the ball, he looks like he's fighting it. Like, he's just not delivering right now. And this is a problem, Mo, when I didn't have an issue with the Delap signing. But Delap, like Rasmus Højlund at Man United, should never have been the first choice striker at their respective clubs. A Delap and a Højlund should have been understudies to a proven striker at the top level.
Yeah, to win the league, Charlie, to go the distance.
Sure, but even to compete for the top 4, Mo, because what we're seeing right now is that people can think what they want to think about a manager, but ultimately, people can say Chelsea are underachieving. I don't think Chelsea are underachieving.
Oh my God, you are definitely underachieving.
Okay,
let me finish. Because the ceiling, right? The ceiling for this project and this squad is 4th/5th. We finished 4th on the final day of the season, last season, right? We made the squad worse over the summer. And people might not agree worse. It's no better. We didn't make the squad better. I think we made it worse. You can say that you don't have to agree with that. At best, it stayed the same. And we're right now, this is a product of the way that we're run, what is happening on the pitch and the results that we're picking up. This team,
I think Aston Villa
the ceiling is 4/5. There's no way Chelsea should be 9 points behind Aston Villa, 14, 15 points off the top of the league, 11 points behind second place, level on points with an awful Man United side, behind Liverpool, and 5 points above 15th in the table halfway through the season.
Go ahead, Cal.
I was saying, I think Aston Villa kind of proves that I do think Chelsea's underachieving, because Aston Villa's squad isn't as good as Chelsea's squad. And while I don't think Chelsea's squad's capable of winning the league or challenging to the very last day, I think it's a disgrace their level right now. Like when I hear Chelsea fans talk about Caicedo and I hear them talk about Palmer and all these guys and putting them in top 5 conversations in terms of positions that they play, which is fair enough if you want to put them in those conversations, but you can't just back out of it now and say that you don't have enough squad, because I feel like if you had a good manager, even if your squad isn't there, you should be better than this, even with the players that you have.
That was my point. That is because, Charlie, with all due respect, Charlie, that is, you're talking about Chelsea as you guys are the level of, if Sunderland are that close to you, you're failing, Charlie. You say your ceiling is 5th? No, your ceiling is 3rd with Liverpool doing bad. And also, we have to differentiate between being 5th and being 4th comfortably. Like what I mean, we know that Aston Villa currently are comfortably in the top 4, right? They're comfortably in the. You should be Aston Villa. You should have been Aston Villa.
We should have
been. As long as you agree with this,
long
as you agree with this, I'm with you.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Don't tell me that the ceiling is 4th. You're in battle with Man United.
The ceiling for this squad is 4th place at absolute best 3rd. We all know
4th, comfortably.
Yeah, and it should be. And having scraped top 4 on the final day of the season last season, this season should have been a season where we were comfortably finishing in the top 4 and not having any issues in terms of qualifying for the Champions League. Now, this is the first time this season, after these 2 results against Villa and Bournemouth, where I'm genuinely concerned that we could miss out on the Champions League.
I still don't think that's going to happen.
It might happen. It might happen. We're going to come to Man United. It might happen. It can happen. That's, by the way, people keep saying it cannot happen. It can happen. But I'm going to tell you the problem, Charlie, with this is what Lewis said. Again, I don't know. This is this. Is this? And I'm sorry, Charlie. I'm not painting you with Lewis or Don or Shez. But this is very important. You cannot have all that chest like this, not you. And so you admit that Lewis is wrong. Like, listen
and
to this.
This is why I've maintained the fact that I believe this team can go the distance in the title race, because this league is rubbed out. It's been shit for years. The problem is we've been on a rebuild during that point. But now this is our best opportunity to take advantage of that. The fact that the table toppers couldn't kill us, and meant to be mentality monsters, meant to be 90-minute merchants, all of that, they didn't have anything for us. 10 men or 11 men. That might be a bit more of a statement for us.
I'm not playing this to laugh at, Lewis. You know what I'm playing this? There is one thing that he said that is completely true. This league is rubbed out. Forget 90 minutes, forget the laughs and the jokes, right, Charlie? But you agree.
The quality's bad, yeah.
But you agree that with Man United being the same points as you, that the league is rubbed out. If Sunderland is 2-3 points behind you, the league is rubbed out. So if Aston Villa can, until yesterday, be 3 points behind the league leaders Arsenal, you should be there. Because you have the players. So that's why you're underachieving. You get the point, right? That's why you're underachieving. And you cannot tell me it's the sporting director. Guys, the sporting, you can actually cuss the sporting director all day long if you guys are there, but you're missing that. Like what Arsenal used to do with the Kroenkes. Like the Kroenkes didn't back Arteta that last hurdle, last jump. Yeah. If that is the case with Chelsea, and Chelsea are doing good, Charlie, but you know what? Maresca, give him new tools. He is 6 points behind Arsenal. If he had a top striker, he would have gone the distance. If he had this, but you're 15 points.
Yeah, because the squad's not good enough. Look, should we be?
But your squad is not 14 points behind Arsenal.
No, it's not, and we've thrown away stupid points, and we've made mistakes. Yeah, we shouldn't be 14 points behind Arsenal at this stage. Listen, I don't think we're 14 points at the top of the league halfway through the season bad. However, we're also not that much better than it. I think we're probably somewhere between 6 to 10 points behind.
No, you're 10 points better than this. You should be 10 points.
Well, we've thrown away a lot of points. There's no.
To be honest with you, I think the biggest thing is also team chemistry in terms of the high turnover for the squad. At least for us, even when we weren't good enough, we kept the same core and we kept going over and over and over again. And even when you look at Emery and that Aston Villa squad, it's the same guys have been there for a while. Whereas Chelsea, there's no real chemistry between the players. No one's building any real relationships.
Of course.
It's way too much. And even when people are fit, Maresca's doing a lot of changes.
But this is the problem, though. When you have such a high turnover of players, right? You develop relationships on the pitch. You then sell those players, you bring in new players in, and then you've got to start all over again trying to develop chemistry and on-pitch relationships. We've seen, right, last season there was a point where the Nicholas Jackson-Cole Palmer partnership combination, whatever you want to call it, was the most prolific in the Premier League. Those two players. Cole Palmer and Madueke's link up. They had a very good on-pitch chemistry. You've then got rid of both of those players, and I think now as well, no Jackson and no Madueke has impacted Palmer's form as well, because Jackson actually benefited Palmer massively. The runs in behind, the dragging players out of position, the creating of space. Liam Delap doesn't do that. Joao Pedro doesn't do that. Pedro Neto, for as good as he's been this season, we've got wingers who are not good in 1v1 situations other than Esteban. Gittins is not good 1v1. Neither's Garnacho, neither's Pedro Neto. The fact that we spent those three players there upwards of £150 million and not a single one of them is good 1v1 is a major problem. Our best winger is an 18-year-old kid who arrived from Brazil 6 months ago. That can't be happening.
And this is why I would agree to a certain extent with some Chelsea fans, because like if you're going to obliterate that chemistry, you should at least be getting something that's worth getting rid of that chemistry.
Exactly.
Because Gittins and Garnacho is just not Gittins, Garnacho, Delap.
I wanna link Man United in this conversation, but let me just do these super chats. As a Chelsea fan, you are a Liverpool fan, but fine. We are ass. This is unable to be fixed. I'm clearly in. We signed great players like Garnacho, and the manager can get a tune. By the way,
why do Liverpool fans like pretending to be other fans? That's just like a thing.
Fonzie
like they were pretending to be Arsenal fans on Twitter.
They love it. Yeah.
Fonzie like that fan. Guys, we got over 500 people in the house, guys, and we got 200 votes and not enough likes. Guys, can we get to 200 likes? You guys have 200 votes. If you're gonna vote, hit that like button. Big up Fonzie, thank you. JJ, one thing is personal, another Maresca no play style. Is there a playing style for Chelsea?
There is a playing style, because you've seen when we've played the top sides and we beat PSG, beat a Barcelona, compete against those top sides. You can see what the style of play is. It's moving the ball quickly, it's getting the ball out wide, it's pulling players out of position, overlapping fullbacks and all that sort of thing. And we like to have a lot of possession. Recently, the style of football hasn't been good. There's no denying it. We're lacking penetration in attacks. We're not defending well. We're moving the ball slowly. We don't get it forward quick enough. And that's an issue. And the manager needs to find a solution.
I want you to land. Playing against PSG and Barcelona is not a style of play. The style of play does not appear against the big teams. All the good coaches around in the world, they change their style of play against the big teams. By the way, the style of play, the consistent style of play happens against the other 15 teams that you play in the league, home and away. There is 30 games that your style of play is apparent, and there is 10 games against the top teams where you are allowed to change the style of play. You play defensive here, you play transition here, you play counter-attack here. Currently, as it stands, Chelsea, against the smaller teams, Charlie, is failing.
We've got no answers. We've got no answers, Mo.
You got nothing.
So
there is no. So to answer Cal, there's no style of play. What is the style of play?
Because look at Pep. Look what Pep did to Arsenal. He never did that again.
So you cannot tell me that Pep's style of play is defending because he defended against Arsenal.
It's not.
Yeah. So Enzo Maresca needs to have a consistent. By the way, do you know, Charlie, that last season in the metrics, me and you spoke about this. The underlying metrics for Chelsea against smaller teams were very consistent. Ball position, the number of chances created were very consistent last season. The conversion was the problem.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's
Last-
the problem, and it's the problem again this year, Mo, because
No, it's not. Your style of play is completely different.
We've because this season, right? We've created the most big chances, second to Man City in the league in terms of big chances created. Now, I don't know where we are in terms of big chances missed, but I imagine we're very, very high up there. So, like, I get it.
Who's creating those chances? Who's creating them?
Creating chances. Enzo Fernandez created a lot of chances. Neto's probably created a few. Palmer, when he's been playing, has created a few. Maybe Esteban. Like, we have created a number of chances, but ultimately we lack quality.
No, actually not. Man United created more big chances than you. Arsenal created more big chances than you. Manchester City created. I'm just checking FootMob.
Well, we've got Newcastle. Yesterday. Let me find it.
Okay, you read it, but I'm not gonna lie to you, Charlie. I'm literally on FootMob, guys.
No. Hold on.
This is the stat.
And find it.
Yeah, find it. But let me read the stats for the people in the chat, right?
Yeah.
Arsenal number 1, City number 2, United number 3, Newcastle number 4, Crystal Palace number 5, Liverpool number 6, Aston Villa number 7, Bournemouth number 8, Brentford number 9, 10 are Leeds United, 11 is Chelsea in big chances created.
Oh,
sorry, this is big. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This is my bad. I read it wrong. Big chances missed. I'm sorry. Big chances missed. I'm sorry. It's my bad. I'm sorry.
Well, third place, Man United. Wow.
But actually, let me see. Big chances created. Manchester City, Arsenal, Man United, Brentford, then Chelsea, then Crystal Palace, then Liverpool. So you are fifth in big chances created.
Well,
sorry, guys.
Chelsea's more clinical than us, then, according to those two things.
You kind of like Chelsea scored only 32 goals. So currently, Chelsea sits fifth in big chances created, fifth in the table.
So we create.
But anyway,
we create.
You
chances.
create enough chances.
We
you should create them.
But we lack quality in the box. The thing is, we spent all this money on attackers, and the only player that you can rely on to put the ball in the back of the net in the attacking third is Cole Palmer. I wouldn't rely or be confident about anyone else putting the ball in the net on a regular basis in the team other than him. Well, and that in itself is a major problem.
Cole Palmer has not been great, to be honest.
He's not been great, but he's missed 3 months of the season.
I want to link in Man United to this because I want to get that. But Chelsea have the best attack and the best midfield.
Yeah,
definitely don't have the best attack. I've not said that ever.
The people that said that, guys, yes.
There are people that have said that.
Chelsea beat Arsenal 1-1. Chelsea beat Bournemouth 2-2.
Yeah, that was actually the beginning of the end, to be honest.
That 1-1.
I think we've only won one game since then.
Yes, Everton game 2-0.
Yeah.
Chelsea, 100%. Sonra, that's the reality. Chelsea fans weren't talking like this 2 weeks ago. Without a shadow of a doubt, Wayne.
2 weeks is a long time in football. I'm not going to lie to you, man.
It is a long time. Yeah.
If we in 2 weeks from now, this Arsenal, we could be having different conversations. So.
Yeah. I want to actually link Sal here. You're quite Sal. Are Man United and Chelsea projects going in the same direction?
To hell.
Well, they're both shit, aren't they? So, yeah.
Well, we're level on points, but Chelsea have got more ambition, in my opinion. They're spending a lot more money. We're more. You're
spending more money than Chelsea, Sal.
I mean, they spent $1 billion in 1 year, didn't they, Chelsea?
I actually think you have more ambition than Chelsea.
You think United? I don't think so.
If United had ambition, but they would have sacked
Amorim. Let me tell you.
No.
Well, it is. We came 15th last season.
Let me explain my point. And then
okay, go on.
United last season, after the season finished, they lost Europa League. They finished 15th, right? United went and signed 2 of the top 5 GA in the league last season. Okay. United went and signed the third hottest property in the market of a striker. You can say he's shit. That's up to you. But there are 3 strikers that were ranked number 1, number 2, number 3 in the market. In England, it's Isak, Gyökeres, and Sesko. These were the 3 guys. Nobody as strikers, right? United signed one of them. Chelsea went and signed Delap.
They tried to get Gyökeres as well.
We can again. I'm going to say that
Delap was United's main target as well, by the way.
Delap was our main target. We had Joao Pedro
for 30 million. I guarantee you that if they signed Delap for 30 million, they would have signed someone else. But the 3 hot properties were these 3, right? Isak, Gyökeres, and Delap is young, right? This is my point, guys. United went. You can say that Amorim is not good enough. but United went and signed them Wim and Cunha right away. That's you see the guys, the different. Charlie, you see the difference. When United went and signed Bologna's jewel last season in Xerxes, where Arsenal wanted Xerxes, everyone wanted Xerxes. You can say in hindsight they failed, right? But you didn't. Chelsea went and signed Gittins and Garnacho. You could have signed Ekitike. You could have signed.
We didn't show the ambition to sign those players.
So that's why I think Man United, as a football club, in terms of the football, are more ambitious than
United
Chelsea.
have ambition, but they're dumber. That's
exactly. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that the execution is worse, but the ambition is there. If you go and sign De Ligt, you're signing a experienced defender. You know, do you know what I mean? Like, they're improving on the goalkeeper. They are trying. At least United are trying, guys. I get it. Chelsea are, Charlie, you said that Chelsea are not trying. It's a trading scheme. Charlie, you said that.
Yeah,
you said it's a
I have no idea how more Chelsea fans aren't enraged, because they're just trying to do a more expensive Brighton thing. It's like a flip for profit thing.
But like you look at Chelsea, right? There's no reason why when Ivan Toney went to Saudi, why Chelsea shouldn't have signed Ivan Toney. And I'll tell you why they didn't sign Ivan Toney, because this ownership and this way of operating are only interested in future asset value. You sign an Ivan Toney, you get 3-4 years out of him. There's no value in then selling him. That's why we don't sign these kinds of players. That's why you wouldn't see Chelsea signing Ollie Watkins, for example. You get 3 years out of him and there's no resale value. And that's why we don't sign them. We're only interested in signing players who have got future asset value. So when they inevitably don't work out, because they're still young and we've not paid a lot of money for them in some instances, and they're on low wages, they can then move them on. That's all. That's what they're interested in.
So you all agree at the end? You all agree with
the number one thing when you are signing footballers not based on making your team better, but based on finances, that's when you're finished. And we are finished in this with this way of operating.
But that's so you all agree, at the end. You all agree. Chelsea look to get assets. Man United look to get players. So the club itself is more ambitious. Sal, go ahead, Sal. I'm sorry I cut you off. Go ahead.
That's
Sal.
all right, brother. No. Look, I think that Man United, we came 15th last season. We ignored the most important positions in the pitch, which was the midfield. We brought in a manager with a distinctive style of play in Ruben Amorim that we knew he played wing backs. We didn't sign any wing backs. We lost Anthony. We lost Rashford. We lost Varane as well. People forget. And we brought in Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko without a midfield. And then we brought in a goalkeeper last minute, a young goalkeeper last minute. That's what we did.
He's done all right, though, to be fair.
He's done fantastic. I was an advocate for Lemens, by the way. I've known about Lemens for a year. He's a fantastic future goalkeeper, of course. But in regards to Mbeumo, Cunha, fantastic. Sesko, yeah, I've never been the biggest fan of Sesko, by the way, but I think he's a good player. He's a good player, but that's about it. Other than that, the engine of the team is the midfield, and we have not fixed the midfield. The last great midfielder Man United have signed is Michael Carrick. I think that's the last midfielder we had who was of any quality. Since then, we haven't really signed anyone in that midfield, apart from Casemiro, whose legs are obviously gone. You saw that yesterday; he couldn't run. We didn't fix the wing back positions. We got no wing backs. You know, we knew the AFCON was coming, and we knew that Mbeumo, Ahmad and Mazraoui were going to the AFCON. We did not plan for that, you know, and we should have known that. We should have said, okay, the AFCON's coming along. So much so, we got 6 young players on the pitch yesterday, like on the bench and on the pitch yesterday, Tyler Fletcher, and players making their debut in such a big game like that, like Mantato making his debut. They shouldn't be making their debut in a crucial game in the Premier League like that. You know, why has it come to this? Man United should have had a proper overhaul. That's what we should have had. We still got Luke Shaw's been there since 2014. Maguire's been there for 6 years. Mason Mount is always injured. I don't know how you got 50 million for him, Chelsea, my goodness me, but he's always injured. You know, we've got all
He's
these
been
problems.
great this season.
What's that?
Mason Mount's been great this season.
He's done
Great
well.
is a
big word.
Okay, good. He's the shining.
He's been better.
He's the best he's been since he joined.
That's what I would say. And I think that, you know what, yes, but ultimately, in regards to Man United, I'm not one of those guys who shout and scream and get Ruben Amorim out of my football club. He's a fraud and this and that, because at the beginning of the season, if someone told me January, you'll be 2 points from 4th, I think most Man United fans would have said, that's all right. We can go with that. The problem with Man United is that we're not capitalizing on the opportunities that we're getting. We're bottling big opportunities again and again and again. And there's only so many opportunities you're going to get. but we're nowhere near the finished product. We got a long way to go.
Can I tell you something? To be honest, let me do this. Kenny, I'm gonna respond to you. Sack the manager, 52 out of 126 points. Ruben Amorim is ass. Great. Let me ask Charlie and Cal a question. The lineup for Man United yesterday had Heaven, Martinez, Diego Dallo, Shaw, Casemiro, Ugarte, Dorgo, Cisco, Xerxes, and Cunha. Okay, this is the lineup. The bench, the only name that is on the bench that you guys know is Linioro.
Yeah, but
You guys have never.
No, we can't
never
do this. They're playing Wolves at Old Trafford.
Great.
The
Wolves-
worst team in
Wolves-
Premier League history.
Wolves give.
Two draws, and that's
Great.
their first point since
Some of their
October.
players are walking to our team, by the way.
This is not running that United have got injuries, which they couldn't beat Wolves. They
No,
couldn't beat Wolves.
It does.
They've
It
got
does
a
because
talented manager.
Liverpool.
They've got a
Because
shit
Liverpool
team.
struggled.
That's why they couldn't-
Charlie. Liverpool struggled against Wolves at home. Arsenal struggled against Wolves at home. Yeah. There is Jack Fletcher, Linioro, Mantato. Never heard of him in my life. Right?
He's good.
Fredrickson. Never heard of him in my life. There is the other Fletcher on the bench. Never heard of him in my life. Kay Lacey, only Man United fans know who he is. Chido Obi played last season. Nobody knows. You guys are asking Ruben Amorim to win football matches where all his team is out.
No,
Like,
we're playing Wolves. This is not running for me at all.
Also,
Yeah.
he's
Not only-
he changed the formation in the game,
not
and
only
that
about
pissed
Wolves.
everyone off.
It's not only also about us. He had Delict out, Mazraoui out, right? Maguire out, Bruno out. Mbuemo's not there. Amad Diallo's not there, right? Who else is not there? The guy has nobody to play. These guys are, with all due respect, they're just not good. They're not good.
No, they're good enough to beat Wolves, who are shocking. They had
Were Liverpool good enough to beat Wolves? Why Liverpool?
beat them? They worked.
But with our 14, we beat Wolves 4-1 3 weeks ago.
Wolves. Yeah, exactly. No, Wolves. That was Wolves' first point since October. They've got 3 points from 18 games this season.
I'm not looking at that. I'm not looking at it this way.
We're not doing this.
I'm not looking at it like this.
Us four could have been playing Man United last night, and we would have had a chance against Wolves. Wolves are going to be the worst team in Premier League history, and you're sitting here saying that Man United couldn't beat them because of their bench.
So
I think the fact that it's at Old Trafford as well.
Guys, can I ask you something?
And they beat them 4-1 at Molineux.
Guys, great. Can I ask you, if Man United snatched the goal at the end and 1-2-1, would your analysis? That's a different. I analyze football matches. Would you have said? Would your analysis be different? Okay, so I want you to imagine a scenario. If Man United, a corner at the end in the minute 95, and Man United snatched the goal and it's 2-1, would your analysis be different for the game?
No, because they've still played poorly, and it's
Okay,
still.
so Arsenal,
my analysis.
They would have found a way to win.
Grat, stop there. Arsenal, the top of the league, right, had an own goal to win them the game in the 93rd minute. Liverpool were pressed at the end, and they ran away with it 2-1. At home, Liverpool with all the signings.
And Chelsea
That's
took
why
the cleaners 3-0 at Stamford Bridge, but it doesn't really mean anything.
And it happens. That's why it happens. For me, the meltdown about yesterday should be about the result. The performance, it wasn't good. I was watching the game. It wasn't good for Man United. But also, Ruben Amorim has no tools to work with. Zero
But it's not
tools.
just this game, though. Like, his record is atrocious. Like, he shouldn't be there. Like, Man United are not moving forward. They're not making progress onto him. They're going nowhere with him.
I think if they give him the players, I think they will go with him.
I think
he plays a distinctive style of play. He's got a completely different style of play. He's proven that he can do it at other clubs, including Sporting Lisbon. He did it at Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League as well, in case people say it's just Portugal. He needs the players there. I mean, we've got a mentality problem, a cultural problem at the football club that stems from the top, and it's been like that for years. We get jobs half done. We got players there who rub off on other players. There's no coincidence that Cunha and Bremo are starting to play poorly because we got this infection at the football club every time.
Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Sal.
They get bad. Where's it? Look at Bremo last 5 games. Look at him. He's
Cunha yesterday, Charlie. Cunha yesterday, and don't tell me it's the manager because
crap, was he?
No, bro, he's playing individual. He doesn't want to pass to people. He wants to dribble past 5 players. He thinks he's Romario.
That's because
He thinks he's Maradona. It's a culture. No, it's a cultural thing. For some whatever reason, people go to Man United and their mentality change. They change, bro. They change. Like Cunha doesn't yesterday. Bro, Cunha doesn't. Bro, like if you watch Cunha yesterday, he's so frustrating. Yes, sir. It's so frustrating to watch him. Like, it's so frustrating.
I
And
think
don't tell me that's the system.
But Mo, there needs to be, and there might be from United fans now, but there's got to be more heat on Ineos, because what Ineos are doing right now is a shambles and an absolute.
I am with Mark. I'm with Mark Goldbridge. Man United need a stamping authority coach. Big one, big name that will come in, like slap these guys and actually.
But there's no
after the Grimsby game, I
not Mourinho.
United lack discipline. The players get away with too much.
Thank you so much. They need an Allegri. They need an Allegri. They need a Conte.
They need to be checked. And Amorim, as good a manager as Amorim might be in certain instances, he doesn't command that respect or that fear factor. Players know they can get away with shit under Amorim.
I mean,
I'm not, by the way, you're saying I'm glazing Goldbridge. Goldbridge copied me. I said Conte 2 years ago. Sam. I said Goldbridge copied me. I am
Mo,
2 years ago.
Mo, you said it. Sorry, bro. You said it a few minutes ago. You said that a great manager, he demonstrates his skills against the other 15 teams. I think Amorim, he does well against the Newcastles, against the Liverpools, against the Chelseas and the Arsenals. We beat Arsenal with 10 men last season at the Emirates. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll go and lose 3-0 to Bournemouth. Then, you know what I mean? This is where you see you differentiate between the good managers and the bad managers.
Bro, you know what, Charlie? Someone said it in the comment section, right? Bro, the culture of the football club, and I said it when Garnacho. I'm gonna tell you something. As a football player, you should not be publicly allowed to criticize the manager, no matter even if, like Mohamed Salah, Cristiano, Gerrard, these guys, Messi, they might be able to do that, right? I'm not having that Garnacho is able to criticize the manager publicly. I'm not having that an academy player that is a low knee, is allowed to criticize the manager. That is ridiculous, Charlie. That's culture.
Well, it's a lack of respect, isn't it? Like, yes, you can. Like those players, like your Salahs, your Ronaldos, they've earned the right to do that because of the body of work.
I still don't think they should, to be honest.
No, they shouldn't, but they've earned the right to do that. Like, you can't have players who haven't got much skin in the game coming out and saying things about a manager publicly. Like, you know, if you've got a problem with a manager, go and deal with it. Go and knock on his door and have the conversation out. Like, things you talk about Man United, right? And the problems are going to be Garnacho, the problems are going to be Sancho. They've both left. And the attitude problems and all these problems are still here. Anthony was a problem. Rashford was a problem. Garnacho, Sancho, all these guys with bad attitude. All these guys were problems. And yet the same, all those guys have gone and the same problems are all still there.
I think it's a manager, though, because I think Arteta kind of proved what he did to Arsenal. A manager strong enough will could come in and change.
But Arteta does something. But Mo, he come in right and he got rid of Aubameyang. That was their captain.
Yeah, but Arteta's different. Arteta doesn't have superstars at the team.
No, but he got rid of Aubameyang.
Superstars does Manchester United have right now?
I'm going to tell you. Charlie's right.
He got rid of Aubameyang, didn't he?
It's not a dig.
That's a big call. For me personally, I know Amorim likes Bruno Fernandes and whatnot, but Bruno Fernandes has contributed a lot to Man United, and you know where they'd be without him, God knows. But I honestly believe, personally, in my opinion, is that Man United would have been far better off taking 100%. The money for Bruno Fernandes in the summer and reinvesting in the team.
I agree with Charlie there.
Let me get the point across with you because Cal didn't understand my point. Arteta made these guys superstars, as my man said in the chat. So he has their loyalty. What I mean by a superstar is Cunha coming to Man United. His ego is already up there. Mbuemo's ego is already up there, bro. These guys, they come to Man United. Their ego's up there. They think they are this and that. People go to Arsenal and they get embedded in the system. They get embedded within the team. Nobody thinks I'm bigger than the team. When I'm watching Cunha's playing, he's playing like he's not part of the team as much. You know what I mean? The Man United,
I feel like that's a manager thing, though, Mo. I think
it is. I said to Terry when they hired Amorim that if Amorim doesn't have the personality like an Antonio Conte, like an Allegri, like an Ancelotti, to actually be like a Zidane, to be able to handle these big personalities and be bigger than them, right? He won't be able to change the culture. You need a manager that whatever you say, he's bigger than you. You're never going to be. And the problem is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes on the pitch, for example, I feel like he does things away from Amorim. He does what he wants.
Because he's
on the
bigger
pitch.
than Amorim, to be honest.
Yeah, he does what he wants. And that is a problem. Let me read the super chat.
Bruno Fernandes at Man United has probably got more power than Amorim does.
And that is a
that's
big
what he needs to
problem.
remove from the football
And
club, right?
that is a problem. Let me do the super chat so we can actually go to where was Chelsea when Arteta took over, and who Chelsea won the Champions League the year after Arteta took over. Arteta took over in January 2020, and
Yeah,
Chelsea
he won it in
won 2021. And who has spent more money? Chelsea did. If anything, it is Chelsea's league to lose, right? Please discuss. What?
But it's spending. But this is what people don't understand, right? If winning league titles was just about spending money, the team that spent the most money would win every year.
Manchester United would have won by now.
Spending money is part of it, right? But you've got to actually spend that money correctly. Chelsea have wasted vast sums of money. Man United have wasted vast sums of money. If it was literally about spending the most money, why aren't Liverpool running away with the league this season?
Yeah, oh yeah, spot on. Why Liverpool? Why it's Liverpool's to lose then? You won the league and they spent $500 million. Liverpool's to lose. Basically, my man. That's it.
And to be honest with you, on the whole Chelsea spending, I think if Chelsea wanted to win the league, they probably would have won it by now, to be honest with you. With the amount of money, the amount of with the resources. And the thing is, what's frustrating with Chelsea is the fact that their plan actually is not to win the league, it's to do this asset flip thing. Because they're actually intelligent enough to put together a plan, if they actually put together the right plan, like a winning plan, they would probably win.
But
they literally don't want to.
Charlie,
is that we're not actually a million miles. We're not actually that far away. There's a good core group of players there. If you sign some top quality players, goalkeeper, centre back, a better left winger, and a striker, we're 4 players away, right? If you go and sign those,
it's half a team.
Almost, but we're 3 or 4 players.
But Chelsea
away.
does that every summer. Chelsea signs half a team anyway.
But the problem is though, Mo, every transfer window we go through, we come out of it, and every Chelsea fan says, we still need 3 or 4 players. This is not a coincidence. This is happening by design. This is happening by design, that we're always 3 or 4 players away. There's like it's not a coincidence that every time we come out of a window, the same things are being said. We still need 3 or 4 players. You cannot be saying you still need 3 or 4 players after the money invested and the volume of players signed. You cannot keep saying that.
Guys, I'm not just going to say this. Chelsea spend the money. They should have Avengers of a team that should be the best in the world with all the money that they spend.
With the money spent, it is unforgivable that Chelsea aren't challenging for a Premier League title.
100%. Owner said it's better to build a business model. I swear to God, my man, I'm not sure if you're here. I know you sent this super. You know, Charlie, I actually yesterday saw the video when Iqbali and the guys were talking about how the business model, they were taking the winning.
That's when they first took over, I think. Yeah.
They're like, the winning is important, but also we want to build a sustainable business model that actually makes profit. And I'm like, okay, great, bro. To build a business model that winning games, Maresca is fired to play players for future. So, yes, I think Maresca is actually forced to play certain players for future sales.
Potentially, but also, Mo, do you know what happens, right? And you notice what happens at Chelsea, right? A manager will come in, they've come from a lesser club or they've come from not being in work or whatever, and they're grateful for the opportunity to manage a big football club like Chelsea. They stick to what's been like the way that the club operates. As soon as a manager has a degree of success and wants to push on and wants more, and has earned a right to a certain extent to demand more, that's when things go wrong. Because this ownership don't like being challenged. They don't like their authority being questioned. They don't like being called out. At Chelsea, the directors run the football club. As the coach or the manager, your sole purpose is to be there and coach the team. You're giving the players, whatever players we sign, you're given those. You need to make it work. But the problem is, Mo, is that when you have a degree of success, like Maresca's had to a certain extent with the 2 trophies last season, wanting to push on, and you call out their bullshit, they don't like it. And so when this manager inevitably goes, because he will go, and whether he lasts the season or not, he won't be here next season, and it'll be the same thing again. They'll get someone in who he'll leave at the end of the season. Like we're gonna get, I'm telling you now, the beatdown we're gonna get at the Etihad on Sunday is unimaginable. I don't even want to think about it. We're going to get absolutely finished there. And
Chelsea rise up, man.
No, we won't. We won't.
Let's do this. I want to just to mention the Arsenal talk. The two teams who have spent the most, your clubs used the money stupidly, so I don't give you a pass. You can't cry after spending these sorts of money. Talking about Man United and Chelsea, they spent a lot of money.
No, but you can make a valid point that the money's been spent poorly.
Yes, it is spent poorly.
It's been spent poorly.
100%. It's been
spent poorly at both clubs. I think Chelsea probably wasted more money than United, but there's not really much in it. Both clubs have wasted so much money.
Yeah.
Mo, can you name 5 good performance under him? Okay, just in the last games, I went and checked actually.
Who's this? Under who?
Man United, under Amorim. If I'm not
We
mistaken,
played well against Villa, but we lost 2-1. But anyway.
You played very well against Villa. I think you played well against Liverpool and you won the game. You played well against Sunderland in October. I think you played well against Brighton. Should have been like 6. There are some good games that you played and you should have won. I thought that actually against Bournemouth, 4-4, you should have won that game.
Yeah, but Mo, this is the thing though. Like saying that you've had good performances and you're not winning games is not going to run with fans.
It's not. And I'm not asking fans to run with it.
Fans would rather play badly and have the results on the board. There's no point playing well and losing or not winning.
I'm not a Man United fan. I don't care. You know what I mean? But in the same time, I'm not going to just sit here and say that every single performance under Ruben Amorim was bad.
I agree with you.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say this because I don't believe that. And I believe that Amorim is part of the problem. I just don't believe he's the only, because I've heard the same monologue from everyone.
He's a big part of the problem. He's definitely not the only part.
But let's say that, if Amorim goes, right, genuinely, if United sack Amorim, or if he goes now, or he goes at the end of the season in the summer, whenever he goes, who's gonna? I'm not saying no one's gonna want to go to Man United, but who is in the running to be next Man United manager?
Charlie, but Glasner, Areola, they're all below Amorim at the moment, and they're all the managers being earmarked to go to Manchester United. The only one I can think of is Conte. That is the only one I can think of who can possibly come to Man United.
He's already actually started to kick a fuss there. Do exactly the same about Napoli.
Why Napoli?
I had it's the same.
Yeah, that's the Conte script, mate. That's the Conte script.
Conte's already trying to leave Napoli.
And then guess what? He paid for it at the back.
You leave. Yeah, that's the Conte playbook.
It's the same exact. Since he was at Juventus, and then he won the league, kicked a fuss, went to Italy, kicked a fuss, then went to I think Chelsea, kicked a fuss, went to Inter, won the league and kicked a fuss, went to Spurs, made them top 4, and then kicked a fuss. It's the same story over and over again. It's never going to change. That's why they hired Conte for 1 year. Big up Mo, big up Ake for this. Arsenal yesterday. How impressed were you guys with Arsenal? Who had doubts?
Well, I had doubts. I definitely had doubts.
You had doubts?
Yeah, going into the game, I had big doubts. I didn't.
Why did you have doubts?
Because Unai Emery, bro, this guy's a freak. He will play. He will play his best football against Arsenal every single time. I mean, he rested players against Chelsea just so he could play us. He did it last year as well. This guy's crazy. He really hates Arsenal. You saw him at the end of the game. He didn't even shake Arteta's hand. He just left. This guy really, really hates Arsenal, and he G's up his players. So whatever, it doesn't really matter what form Aston Villa's on. When they play us, they just turn up and they go up a level. And especially on that winning streak, and he had something to maintain, I definitely wasn't super confident that we were going to just win the game. I thought, to be honest with you, I thought it would be a draw, to be honest. But not after that first half, I thought it was going to be a draw. But that second half of football is probably the best football we've played all season. That's exactly what I want. that was pretty much perfection. I felt like it was, besides Moreno, it was pretty much everything that I wanted us to be in terms of attacking. And I think the reason that was happening is because of Odegaard. Odegaard's he's back. This is the Odegaard from 22-23. He's actually taking risks. He's actually progressing the ball quickly. He's taking shots. He's not pillow foot anymore. He's taking really good shots on goal as well. And I think if we have him and we have Gabriel's also back, and that's how we opened up the scoring. If we have these two players in the team, I feel like we're just going to win the league, because I feel like it's I think that second half is exactly like our attack and defense actually coming together. We're having our centre back pairing actually working, our starting centre back pairing actually working together and being fit, and Odegaard firing, because I think Odegaard is the catalyst for us being a really, really good team. And this was despite Saka not having a pretty quiet game as well, which is something. And also Trossard, he's been probably our best forward this season so far, between him and Saka.
Is anyone here still think that like Aston Villa are going to be in a title race, or that is gone?
Aston Villa were never in a title race, Mo.
Nah, that was
at least
that was a
agree
false
on
position. That was a false position.
Yeah, because when I said Unai Emery is better than Arteta, they're in a title race.
He's a better manager. Unai Emery is a better manager than Arteta. I think Unai Emery is the second best manager in the league behind Pep Guardiola. But Aston Villa were never in a title race.
What?
Unai Emery is the second best manager in the Premier League.
Based on what?
Who's better than Emery other than Guardiola?
Arteta's better than him.
Arteta's not better than Emery. Look at Arteta's trophy cabinet. There's a COVID FA Cup in it, and that's it.
Okay.
Let me tell you now, right? Arteta,
what has Unai Emery achieved in England?
What's Arteta achieved in England? One FA Cup.
That's one FA Cup more than Unai Emery. And Unai Emery, my biggest problem with Unai Emery is every single time this guy is at a big club and he has something to prove and his back's against the wall and the pressure's on, he crumbles. Even at Aston Villa, he crumbles. I mean, look at that Champions League. We saw what he did against PSG. Completely crumbled. Took off Rashford. This guy, he's not it. He is not it. His level is getting a team like Aston Villa to top 4. That's what he likes. He likes being under the radar. Sure. So a lot of this run that they went on was under the radar. People only noticed that they were on a winning streak, 9 games after 9 or 10 games. People noticed. But as soon as the media starts talking about him, as soon as people start noticing him, and as soon as there's some sort of expectation, he falters and he lost. And that's probably why he lost today as well.
Okay, Charlie, can I ask you something before I tell? You would take Unai Emery before Mikel Arteta at Chelsea?
Yeah, I would. I would have Emery before Arteta, yeah.
Really?
I wouldn't have Arteta at Chelsea,
so,
no.
O'Malley here is asking, would you take Unai at Chelsea?
Yeah, of course I would, because he's a top-level manager.
So why is he a top-level manager? Do you know what he won in his career?
Yeah, but he's better. One, he's better than what we've got. And secondly, he's someone that can maximize his group and get the most out of a squad.
Okay. I'm going to tell you something, Charlie. People talk about Unai Emery because he won Europa League 3 times, right? Is that the trophy cabinet that people talk about, right? I think so. So I went yesterday to check the company that won Europa League with him. So the people that won Europa League are Maurizio Sarri, Lopetegui, Oliver Glasner, a manager that you guys never heard of is called Mende Bellar, Gasperini, Ange Postecoglou, Advocat, Lisecco, Kiki Flores. So these are the managers that won Europa League. So he won Europa League, yes.
And also, by the way, Mikel Arteta been in the Europa League, couldn't win the Europa League, got dumped out. We never
even took. That was one of the biggest problems with Arteta, at least for the past couple of seasons, is the fact that we would literally just dump out of every single cup competition because we didn't take it seriously. We would literally play shit squads and get dumped out every time.
I'll make a claim. I'll always take the manager that will get me better in the league consistently, because that will make me closer to win the big trophy, which is the league or the Champions League. I actually don't think that Unai Emery will win the league with any Premier League team. He won't. He won the league with PSG, which is, with all due respect, my cousin could have won the league with PSG.
So you don't think he'd win the league with Man City, for example?
I think if Mikel Arteta had Man City, he would actually dominate the league and win every single season more than Unai Emery.
I think they'd both win the league at City.
Emery wouldn't.
No, can I tell you something? But let me give you what I think. I think if Man City did not have Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta might have won 2 league titles. If Man City had Unai Emery and Arteta was still at Arsenal, I believe that Mikel Arteta would have won the leagues over Man City.
Let me ask you this.
That's my belief. Let me just put the tick out. Let me put it. Yep. If Unai Emery have managed Man City over the 3 years that Arsenal had Arteta challenging for the league. I believe these 3 titles go to Arsenal.
Potentially, yeah. But could I caveat that, right? Could Mikel Arteta do what Unai Emery is doing at Aston Villa?
Yes.
I mean,
he literally did it with Arsenal.
We were 14th when he took over.
Hold on. Yes. Okay. To
And
answer you, Charlie,
squad.
here is the problem, Charlie. You are looking at Arsenal today because of what Mikel Arteta did with them.
Yeah, he's done a good job.
No, but hold on. Let me just take Mikel Arteta, when he took over Gabriel was similar to Konza, was similar to, what's his name? That other guy, not Lindelof, the other guy that played with them. The other center back that was playing for Torres. When he took over, Ben White was not better than Matty Cash as a right back. Like, you look at people look at Arsenal's squad today, right, and think, yeah, so Mikel Arteta has a better squad. Yes, because he made them consistently better. So you, in your head, is thinking that these guys are better, but they didn't start as better players. Bukayo Saka was never, when Bukayo Saka started, he wasn't as highly rated as Morgan Rogers today, by the way. Bukayo Saka was a left back, right? Martinelli was not great. I'm going to tell you something. You know, Ollie Watkins, as a striker, was highly regarded, was highly better than the likes of Gyökeres as a striker. Martin Odegaard is good, is good. The only guy that they got, which is like has a brilliant talent. I think that people, because of what Mikel Arteta is doing with the team now, is thinking that, yeah, if Unai Emery had this Arsenal squad, he would have done magnificent. Yes, after Mikel Arteta made them stars. But if he took over when Mikel Arteta built the squad, these players might not have been stars. You get the point, Charlie, right? You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I just feel that, personally, I think he's a better manager. But look, it's opinion at the end of the day, isn't it? And
it is opinion. I feel like, and I hear it. You know what? At least, Charlie, is when I debate you, you're like, it's an opinion. You can prefer Emery, I can prefer Arteta. It's a debate. And I respect all the opinions about this. It's when people say, Unai Emery is clear of Mikel Arteta, to based on because he won Europa League. Is that because he won Europa League? He's clear of Arteta, but that's not true. That's not true.
No, he's not clear. No.
You know, do you get my point, right? Like, I will hear your argument, Charlie, and I will give
opinion at the end of the day.
Is that opinion based on anything he's done at Villa or anything he's done in England? Or is it just based on what he did before? I think,
right, if you look at the job that Unai Emery's done, taking over Aston Villa from Steven Gerrard when they were just about above the relegation zone, going nowhere, to what they are now. I
agree with you. So spending 400 million
money. Not much.
400 million euros. 400 million euros. No, that's not limited money.
Well, it is compared to what Arsenal
actually not true. In his tenure, he spent with the time same amount of money as Arsenal.
By the time Arteta spent 400 million, we were in a league challenge. We were like challenging for the league.
Charlie, by the time Arsenal spent 400 million, Arsenal were top of the league competing to win the trophy. Emery spent 400 million, and Charlie from Blue Brothers CFC is sitting here and saying Aston Villa aren't in a title race.
No, then of course they're not, because then Aston Villa are not going to sign the same quality of player as Arsenal are they? Because they're not as big a club.
Arsenal didn't sign quality players.
They signed better players than Villa.
I mean, we signed before our title challenge. We signed Jesus and Zinchenko. Do you think that's much higher quality than what Villa is capable of signing?
What did Villa? The thing is, though, we got to compare it to what was coming in that. I don't know who Villa signed when Zinchenko and Jesus came in, but it's
Villa. He wasn't like.
But it wasn't even there. Yeah,
he wasn't even there. But like,
I'm just saying that I think Villa has the pull to get similar type of players as that. It's not like they don't have decent players.
Villa, let me give you an example. Villa have the capacity now to go and sign Savinho, which is,
I would agree, but I don't know if they've got the money to do it.
Does that make sense? Like Oscar Bob.
They can go and sign Oscar Bob. They could,
which is similar to Zinchenko and Jesus at that time.
Yeah.
the secondary players for the City team.
Yeah.
Right?
And they also have some really good players like Morgan Rogers.
You know what I'm talking about, Charlie. But anyway, I want to go back to the Arsenal. But let me just do this super chat quickly. Good evening, guys on the panel. Good evening, yes. Good evening, my friend. Thank you so much. Unai is massively underrated. He's a very good coach, but I don't think he's a coach.
I think he's overrated
for the top teams. But hear me out. I think Unai Emery would crumble at the pressure at Chelsea. Would absolutely crumble.
Potentially he could do.
Because he crumbled under pressure with the big jobs.
Yeah.
He crumbled.
No, I hear it. And I think there's an argument, Mo, to be said that, you know, the slightly underdog style clubs or the bracket of club under the top clubs is where he thrives and excels best. I would like to see him after Aston Villa have another crack at a big club to see if that is the case. I'd like to see how he would do.
And for me personally, that's what separates the great managers from the average ones for me. I think for example, that's why it would take a really good manager to go to United and like actually help them fix their problem. You can't get like an Unai Emery to go there and try and help them. You need an absolute killer. And
so Thomas Frank situation, isn't it? Thomas Frank as well at Tottenham. Like they're good at Brentford, but when they go to Tottenham,
you know that, Charlie, right? You know, like when at the big clubs, the pressure is immense.
It's massive, Mo. Yeah.
It's like even at Chelsea, the pressure is immense. Is ridiculous. Like, and that is Unai Emery now. Because by the way, he lost yesterday 4-1, and he lost his shit because this is the first time that people actually putting pressure on Aston Villa to win a football match to be really in a title race. Like everything that happened before yesterday's game was. Yeah, you're doing well. You're great. You know, like you're winning games, 11 games winning streak. There's no pressure. Yesterday, there is pressure. And he collapsed. Arteta ain't top 3 in January with this Villa squad. Let's be real. No, but give Arteta the team for 2-3 years. And I think with like Unai Emery, and they would have been challenging for the title. Like Ikea, when are we ever going to admit that Mikel Arteta didn't buy superstars? He didn't. He didn't buy superstars. Why do people? He didn't go and get the best of the best in the world. Nor did Unai Emery. So, but he made these guys people think the Arsenal team is amazing because of what he did. That's it.
And this is why I don't like Amorim as well, is because I don't think he can develop players as well based on that whole Menu situation, all that stuff. I think good managers develop talent. Like Pep develops talent.
He developed Jokeres, he developed Quende, he developed Hoyman, he developed all these players like Inácio, he developed Diamande at Sporting Lisbon. He's proven to develop players. Maybe Menu just needs to step up. That's it, and prove himself rather than getting his brother to wear t-shirts and things like that, and then he'll get.
I think say that. Tim that wasn't even a right back.
I think the Menu thing is kind of heightened by the fact that United aren't getting results. If United were getting results, there's not really any noise about Menu not playing. It's because United are not getting results. It's because they're poor in midfield. And it's because they're crying out for a midfielder, which is why this Menu stuff's getting attention.
He's injured anyway.
Let me, 100%. Charlie, what is Emery's highest league finish?
I don't know, but then I could say.
I think
but then I could say Emery's trophy cabinet's got way more in it than Arteta. What are we doing here?
Fair. That's a response. Emery came second in League One in his first season at PSG. That by itself is a failure.
Okay, what?
You guys know that. You guys know that is a failure.
Did Lille win the title? Did Emery take over from Poch, or Poch took over from Emery? I think.
I don't know, but if losing the league at PSG is basically the highlight of failure.
No, it's not good. No, there's no escaping that. Of course, it's not.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, to be honest. Emery only does well at mid clubs. That's what Charlie's saying. Mid-table clubs with Villa in their name, by the way. Big up my Arsenal brother. Happy New Year. Emery's a fraud, bro. Ran away.
Big ups.
Bro, he ran away yesterday. He's
a coward, man.
Yeah. I am sorry, but I don't think Unai is an elite manager. But let's not put Arteta on some silly pedestal with only won one FA Cup.
Being better than Unai Emery isn't an achievement, guys.
Being better than Unai Emery.
It's like it's not that big of a deal. I'm not saying he's better than Pep. It's bloody Unai Emery.
I do
what
like
are you doing?
Arteta is a good manager. I'm not saying you do this, but I think there is a general overrating of how good Arteta actually is. For me, until he starts putting serious trophies in the cabinet, that like he can't be getting the ratings that I'm seeing him get from a lot of people.
Arteta is an excellent coach. That's what he is right now. He's an excellent.
He's only
coach.
40 as well.
So what he needs to do in order to be elite is to win.
He needs to win.
But he's proven because of what he's done with Arsenal and
I
his
would
ability
agree.
to develop and challenge.
I would agree,
he's an
but
excellent
like
coach.
you said earlier, what separates the best from
Of course,
the not so good is you then have to take the step to win. You don't. Arsenal. Arteta doesn't want to be like Arsenal have been, where they're the nearly club. He doesn't want to be the nearly manager that gets a team so far but can't take the final step.
I think Arteta is like tier 2, Unai's tier 3, Pep is tier 1. That's how I feel.
Guys, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Charlie's channel in the description. He's going live now, actually, on his channel in 4 minutes. For a show on his channel talking about Chelsea. So if you're a Chelsea fan, head out there. Straight for post. He went live this morning. Of course, Sal talking about Cal. Where can people find you?
Well, I do a podcast with Anton, which is the most positive Guna you guys have ever seen on TFT. You guys probably know him. Yeah, it's called Fathom Cannons. You can check me out there.
Charlie, serious trophy like the Conference League? You are.
What did I say? Emery didn't even win the Conference League.
He won Europa League, my man.
Yeah.
He won Europa League. But big up everyone that joined us. I'm not sure if I can be back, but this will take it to Football Terrace, me, Osam, and Terry on Straight Facts in like 2-3 minutes. Out to you guys. Appreciate Charlie being here. Thank you, Sal, for being here. Cal, appreciate it's your first time on the channel. I will see you guys soon. Happy New Year to everyone celebrating tonight. I wish you nothing but happiness and joy in the new years. Make sure to hit that like button before you go. We're not on 300 likes. And I'll see you guys on the terrace.